Today, my friends, we have to talk about the financial elephant in the room. It's the foundation of any great drawn out financial plan. Do you know what that is? It's budgeting. Listen, I know it's not fun by any means, but it is super beneficial if you're able to master it. I'll break down the best tips that I know so that you can stretch your hard-earned dollars while you learn to manage your money better than ever. Come on in, let's talk about it. What's up, everyone? This is the Real Mark Cruz, and I'm here to keep it real with you on the things that matter the most, like your money, your mind, and your time. But before we get started, I have to say I am not a financial advisor, okay? I'm just a dude on the internet. Everything that you see here is for education and entertainment purposes only. Managing money is something that unfortunately doesn't come naturally for most of us. It's not something that we're taught in school when we're growing up, or something that's given any real attention as adults. See, I come from a family where we were not well off by any means. I grew up in the Bronx in New York City. My parents, they were really broke for most of my life. My stepdad, he worked for himself and, he made what he could, while my mom, she took care of us and eventually had a career in social work. We were never surrounded by financial abundance or luxury. We were raised by two first-generation Hispanic parents who had no clue how to budget, invest, or to manage money. They did the best that they could. That's probably a story most of you guys can relate to. Having parents or guardians that simply did the best they knew how to just so that they can get by and keep food on the table. When I realized how common this was, I knew I had to learn how to break through this. It was the only way I was going to be able to create and sustain the lifestyle of my dreams. Let me show you the 5 tips I'm using to break those generational cycles today and how you can do the same for your family. Alright guys, the first thing to do in this journey is to learn why budgeting is important to you. What is the benefit of knowing how to manage money correctly for you in your life? For me, the ultimate goal was to create financial freedom. I wanted to have money to do just about anything that I wanted to. I'm not saying filthy rich or swimming in a room full of coins rich. I'm saying having enough to do the things that I enjoy while making sure all of my bills were taken care of. That required discipline and consistency. Finding why it is important to you should be where you begin. The next step is to sit down and go through all of your bills. First, find every recurring bill that you have and compile them all together, either using an app like Mint or a spreadsheet. I prefer going with a spreadsheet because I can customize it to my needs, but go with whatever works best for you. You then want to list all of your expenses out as separate line items like electric bill, cell phone bill, rent, etc. so that you can see specifically when each bill is due and how much it is going to cost you every single month. Next, create a line item or a category for expenses that vary every month, like food, travel, or clothing, so that you have a ballpark idea of what you should be spending on average for these things. Estimating them within a certain threshold that makes sense for you will help to track if you're going above or below that point. It will help you to control your spending from getting out of control. If you have multiple jobs, side hustles, or anything that creates an income, compile those as well. You want to list all of your sources of income in one area so that you can see all the money that is coming in every month. Now that you have all of this information in your spreadsheet, you should be able to see all of your financial data in real time. Having something like this will help you to visually see where your money is going, where you may be overspending, and how you can potentially save in a few areas. If you need help with this, I have a simple spreadsheet that I created in Google Sheets linked in the description below. Download it now and adjust it to your needs. Okay, now that you have your expenses drawn out, you should be able to see how much available money you have after everything is paid off for that month. If you don't have as much as you'd like, here are some things you can look at. Out of your expenses, figure out what things are needs versus the things that you want. You're going to have to limit those luxuries if they aren't absolute needs, just until you're in a better financial place to be able to afford them. Maybe your expenses are way too high because you are living far beyond your means. Cut down those expenses or find cheaper ways to accomplish similar things for the time being. Remember, this is a temporary sacrifice that you're going to make so that you can achieve the bigger goals you have in the future. Next, create some rules that make sense for you as to how you will allocate the remaining money you have every month. Let's say after all expenses are paid, you're left with about $200 per month. What will you do with that? An example of a rule that you can create is one that breaks down your remaining money into separate areas that are related to your goals. Maybe 50% of that could go to investing, 30% of that can go to an emergency fund, and 20% of that could go to a long-term retirement account. Regardless of what your rules are, make sure that they are easy to follow every month and that they are all aimed at bringing you closer and closer to your goals. Although the commonly held idea is that credit cards are bad, if you understand how to use them responsibly, they can really help you with your budgeting goals. Some cards even have perks or rewards that you can benefit from as you use them. Check this out. Let's say you have a credit card with a $1,000 credit line, right? You've come to the conclusion that your monthly spending should be about, $300 per month for various things like food and gas. If you were to pay those things with just cash, it will get the job done, sure, but you gain no intrinsic value from doing that. Using the same scenario, let's now assume you are paying those expenses down with a credit card instead of cash. Here are some benefits to using your card instead. You can limit your spending since your card has a hard limit. If your card offers a way to manage your expenses, that's a great way to see them in further detail. You can earn rewards, cashback, or points if your card offers that for each of your purchases. You can also build your credit if you are paying that balance down with the cash you would have used anyway at the end of the month. In regards to credit card debt, your next step should be to figure out a plan that works best for you on how to pay down those debts. There are a number of ways you can approach this, but here are two ideas I would recommend. The first would be the snowball effect. In this scenario, you could focus on working down your debt by starting with your smallest bill. Once that bill is paid off, you would then use that extra money to pay off the second smallest bill, and then the third, and so on. The idea is like a snowball effect on your budgeting. Every consecutive bill that you pay gives you more money to pay down the next bill, thus allowing you to focus on paying your debts down quicker. It also includes the added bonus of momentum, and as I've mentioned before with goals, momentum is your best friend. Another approach that I use that may work better for your scenario is to pay off your biggest debt first, and work your way down in the reverse direction. This is generally a good approach if you are really trying to pay down your biggest debt that carries the biggest weight on your credit score. If your goal is to bring your score up quicker, like to purchase something like a home or a car, then this might be the better option for you. Here's a bonus tip. Because of what is going on in the world right now, a lot of credit card companies are offering financial relief if you've been affected by the pandemic. If you have, you should be able to reach out and ask for a few months of relief, which will allow you to catch up on your bills with this extra cash that you now have access to. Check to see what your card issuer offers and see if their terms make sense for you. Well, that's what I have for you guys today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who might benefit from this information. If you'd like to get on the trading train, feel free to use my Webull link in the description below to get 2 free stocks after you deposit your first $100. Well, with that being said, keep your heads bright, your wallets tight, and grab your dreams like it's your right, my friends. Peace.